Your thing and I'll
One moment. Yeah, sure.
your mic.
They added like 3 times the amount of weaponry available in this vault. So they set it up so that the tensions would be very high. And then at the same time, there was a parallel cloning project that was going on, focused on, obviously, can you guess the name of the guy it was focused on?
Gary!
Yeah, you got it, buddy. You got it. So each of the Garys was grown in a lab, and there was some kind of defect in them that made Garys immediately hostile to anybody who wasn't a clone. And
Right.
they just kept making them. So
Mhm.
they made like 50 some odd Garys to the point where their observation rooms were overcrowded with them. So what happened was, as they go along, they dealt with escalating violence. So somewhere up in the mid 50s, one of the Garys actually injured one of the doctors. So they
Mhm.
started talking about destroying the extra clones to make room for further tests, and they basically just obviously treated the Garys as completely disposable. So you've got
Jesus.
like, yeah, I know, it's honestly, it's insane. Like, it's I would say that it's kind of impossible to think about the fact that there would be scientists willing to do this, but there are people who are missing fundamental parts of their humanity.
Whispers crawl through the cracks like spiders in the dark. Secrets slither, shadows dance, they leave a bitter mark. Lies wrapped tight like silk spun thin, choke in the morning air. The truth you chase, it runs away, hiding where you dare. In the heat of the night, where the fire burns cold, the answers you see are stories untold, shaped by the light.
Listen. After everybody calms the fuck down.
Is anybody alive coming out of the movie theater? Or just dead people?
Just blood and body parts.
All right, well, I'm gonna try to go in again. And if I
All
go
right.
back in time, I'm gonna shoot the lock a few more times and see if it works.
All right. Yeah, throw me a d20.
I've got a 3.
So you go in, and this time the force is more pronounced. It's more pronounced. It flings you back around a minute later. So you can feel the whiplash. More, it hits your neck, it hits your back. It's like you're almost trying to go through plexiglass. And the people going in, you're in the situation, you're just coming around the front, and people are going in, the door is closing. A minute later, the whole thing happens all over again.
Can I try to run in and get in there before the door closes and just force my way through?
The
Or am I too
door-
late?
Yeah, it's too late. So it flings you back the moment that you're coming back around.
All right,
Boom, boom, let the hollow idols fall. One by one, let the painted stories crawl till they're gone. Cave in road.
our members deserve much better than we know about Tilly Norwood, and we're heavily monitoring the situation. Like, you guys are unfucking believable. You know that. You're supposed to fight on behalf of us. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be representing everybody here. I realize you can't have a crystal ball and you can't think 20 steps ahead. But you're supposed to have that clairvoyancy. You're supposed to think somewhat ahead. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point. You're supposed to foresee of problems in the future and try to stop them. That's why you have a collective bargaining agreement. That's why you went back and forth with the studios. That's why it was one of the longest acting strikes in history.
This is the LP shop, doors are open wide, so come on inside. Find a little piece of history and come alive, turn it up, let your story spin. Every scratch, every song pulls you back in. At the LP shop, doors are open wide.
As a kid, learning to play guitar, I used to put the album on, not this album. There's a Fraley's Comet. It's called Live Plus One, and he opens with this song. And I used to learn. I would try and figure it out and play along to the album. I loved this song. And my buddy, who was a drummer, who I still keep in contact with, he learned all the drum parts on this song as well, with that drum solo in the middle.
So I'm guessing you're like a big fan of the song. Let's go into it. What did you like about the song?
Well, I mean, of course, first off, it's guitar driven.
Yeah.
Vocally, Ace doesn't push any barriers.
No.
But he's got a certain execution and a way he enunciates and the way he sings that I've always been attracted to. He's not the greatest singer in the world.
No.
I don't think he ever claimed to be. But there's just something cool.
Join the cameraman and his crew. Paint on my face, just a move. We are Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life. Mark it on my skin. That sign from the campfire glow at night to the screen right in your eyes. Original stories, wild and true. You can feel them cut right through. Bring that spark straight to you. Every drop, every view. Must see TV. Join the tribe, cross the line. Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life. Raise your hand. That's the sign. That's the sign. Shouting names side by side. When the came-in calls, we rise. Hear that thunder in our cry. From the first beat, we commit. on the banner we left. Whole world watching this. Must see TV. Join the tribe, cross the line. You're your club for life. Hey. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. You're your club for life. Hey. Once you're in, I'll get them for life. Call it out. Hey. I'll go, never doubt. I'll go, side by side. Hey. You get club for life. For life. For life. Hey. Must see TV. Join the tribe. Cross the line. You get club for life. Hey. Say the word. You're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. You get club for life. Hey. Once you're in, you're in for life.
Get ready, it's the final countdown. Hold tight, the spotlight's shining bright. We're gonna take flight. From the screens to the stage, it's a wild show. Counting down the top 10, feel that energy flow. The caveman's in charge, and it's time to explode. One by one, let's celebrate the best. From glam to the glam, we're putting it to the test. Hollywood dreams will put them to the score. With the top 10 countdown, we're ready for more.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Final Countdown. Top 10 hated movie. No, hated movies. Top 10 hated YouTubers. Boom. I nailed it. But before we go to our next casualty on the list, I just want to give a shout out to YouTube. And I know how much you guys are enjoying this on YouTube and debating down below. This caveman enjoys it. He really does. All right. So I believe we have some growls. Crimson is here. Say hello, Crimson.
Hello.
So we have some growls.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's okay. Let's do my growls.
Our first one is coming from a Bill Conrad.
Bill Conrad, from us to you, my friend. You got a great big bad caveman.
And our second one is from a Dipali Bora.
Dipali Bora. That sounds like a black evil spell. I'm gonna cast Dipali Bora upon you. My friend, thank you for watching. You got a great big bad caveman. All right. So coming in at number 7, guys, is Chris Stuckmann. This guy's a YouTuber. He just released a film a couple months ago, last year, called Shelby Oaks. If that sounded like it was milk toast, then it was designed that way. But yes, our next casualty on the list, coming in at number 7, is Chris Stuckmann. Now, I want to be very clear. We have not gotten to the shit of the shit yet. There is a clear distinction I would like to make before we continue. Like the earlier picks on our list, we went from misguided to enthusiastic to old men shouting at the clouds. This is a little bit different. However, this is not near the bottom of the list. I would like to separate him right away from the likes of Three Bug Theater, Geeks and Gamers, Critical Drinker, all those other cats. There's so many. Oh, Unsleeved Media, The Quartering, same channel, same guy who's behind that channel. So I would like to make a very dividing line here. We have not crossed into shit territory and shit people. I think what is happening here is someone that technically understands how a film works, but practically has no idea how a film works. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that and his criticisms on the spot. 'Cause that's why he's number 7. He's not, I just want to make clear, he is not Critical Drinker. He's not Midnight's Edge. He's not Three Bug Theater. He's not even close to the same, in the same room or in the same galaxy. So Chris Stuckmann is a very interesting cat. Of course, he would be best known for, well, his hilariocity reviews. I can't speak today, but they are movies that they're so hilariously bad. They're not atrocities. They're hilariosities. So he is best known for that kind of quote unquote content, and he reviews films a lot. He does. He has, I believe, over 2 million subscribers. He has a movie out there called Shelby Oaks, which I did not like, and we will get into that. But there is a criticism of Chris. There's a very widely known criticism of his. And it's him taking this criticism is on a I just want to, there's no basis for this. There's no basis. There's evidence, but that's circumstantial evidence. But in his reviews, it seems to be the case. This seems to be the case. It's taking the best of the best reviews and taking the synopsis and putting that in a teleprompter, and that's what he has been criticized to do. He's been criticized for this for multiple years. And you can see his length of his videos are usually 6-7 minutes. Now, in my opinion, you cannot do a proper movie review in 6 and 7 minutes. All you can do is summarize, which that's what he does. He doesn't do a full movie review. And it seems to be he takes the best movie reviews on the internet and he puts it in a teleprompter. That's what it seems for him to be doing. Now, can we prove it or not? I think it's a very high likelihood of that's what he's doing. And also, there's no life to his movie reviews. It's usually, hi everybody, so today we're taking a look at this. It's very milquetoast and very lacklustered. It's very lacklustered movie reviews. And it seems, like I said, that's what it seems what he's doing a lot of the time. The most famous one is Rogue One. Rogue One gave that movie an A plus. Of course I'm talking about the Star Wars story Rogue One. And years after, he circled back to that video. He made a big essay about Rogue One and how he was wrong. But in that essay, he didn't really talk about the technical problems with the film. He talked about things that the people that he thought that he should talk about due to other people. He wasn't really giving us, all right, guys, I was wrong about Rogue One. Here's what was wrong about it. This was put together by two separate directors, which it was. The dialogue, the delivery was all very wooden, which it was. The IADR from Darth Vader sounded like he was in an old age home, which he was. That's what it sounded like. Continuity for the Star Wars universe was off. But he didn't do anything. He didn't offer any real world, from my perspective, this is what I did. This is why I shouldn't have gave it an A+. It's what he thought people wanted him to say. And it wasn't really any real world criticism. And the big elephant in the room, Shelby Oaks. Okay? He had a chance, an honest chance, to prove every one of his doubters wrong. Hey guys, you think I'm reading off a teleprompter. Hey guys, you think I'm taking movie reviews or reactions and synopsis and put it on a teleprompter and read it? This was his chance to prove every one of those critics wrong. Every one. And what did he do? He proved the opposite. He proved every one of his critics absolutely right. You know, Crimson, because you were in film school, there's a difference between knowing something technically, knowing how shots are, knowing the lingo that we use, using correct framing. Oh, the camera goes here, the angles. You can watch Schindler's List 1,000 different times and break it down technically. But when you're in the field and you're actually working on a real life movie set, it's something totally different, right? And we see it all the time. I see it all the time with film professors and people that technically know what they're doing, and in practicality, they get down in the guts. You know, they're with the crews, they're setting up cameras, they're sitting in that chair, and all of a sudden, it's completely different. It is completely different. The amount of people out there that think they know how to run a movie or work a movie or make a movie there's a lot. There's very few people that know how to make films well, right? We look at the box office, right? The back rooms, right? Markiplier made a movie, right? Both of those people know how to make a movie because they sat down under the learning tree. They were probably invited on movie sets a couple of times, and they had probably experience before they even went into a movie production, right? Here's a cat, Chris Stuckmann, that talked about making movies for so long, but when it came to it, when it came down to roll up your sleeves and make a movie, he didn't know what he was doing. Perfect example, right? His film got picked up by a independent movie studio, but he still had to raise money for that film. I think the film only cost $2 million. Right? And for anyone that has experience making film, you know that usually the movie studio handles that. If you sold your movie and you sold your script, then you already have that money to make your movie. Why do you need a GoFundMe page to raise money on making your film? In that video, he says some quite disturbing things if you are experienced making movies. He stated that he needed this money because he didn't know really how much these visual effects shots cost. I think somebody was talking in his ear and honestly screwing him on a lot of the stuff because the things he said didn't make no sense. You're working on an indie horror movie. And when you talk about replacement effects because someone's looking at their phone because of the text and you want people to see you're working on an indie horror movie. You know how you solve that problem? Practically. Caveman, what happened? Oh, I just got a text. It says A, B, C, D, E. That's how you convey that text message to the fans. You know, he said one scene, you know, there would be two characters talking and there'd be a forest and in the background there's a car going by. So we need money to visually blur out the... You didn't get movie permits? All movies need fucking movie permits to shoot. You block off the street. That's how you solve that problem. And you saw what he was saying. For someone like me or someone like or anyone, didn't make a whole lot of sense. So this was a chance for him to prove all the doubters wrong. And what did he decide to do? He made a found footage movie. A found footage movie. If you're going to do a found footage movie, and there are people out there attempting that right now, I will say this. You must do something different. You're not going to be the Blair Witch Project. That was the first, in my opinion, that was the best found. Super 8, right? Super 8 was kind of cool. Super 8 and Blair Witch Project. And Cloverfield. I didn't like Cloverfield. I'm sorry, guys. I just didn't like Cloverfield. But if you're going to do a found footage movie, you must do something different. He didn't do anything different. You had your main character that went from 1 to 11 and stayed at that emotional range. I hate to say range because it was no range. You just had her either scared or sad or both all the time. That's not how emotional range works. You know, some scenes you're going to have a character happy, sad. Don't have the character scared all the time because that will loosen what you're trying to do. Look at look at look at what Markiplier did. Look at Backrooms did. I saw those movies. And I could not believe they were done by people from YouTube. You know, it, like I said, it comes down to someone technically knowing how a movie works, but someone actively, practically making a movie. There's two different things. It's two different things. Look at Markiplier. Look at Backrooms. Those are phenomenal, phenomenal movies. What Markiplier did, that movie, I would give it an 8 I would give it an 8.8. Backrooms, I saw Backrooms. Holy shit, that was so good. That was so good. I would give it a 8.8 as well. One's a chamber piece movie. That was in a submarine. It was atmospheric. That was, you felt closed in. That was amazing. That was incredible. Those people haven't spent a decade talking about movies. Chris, you have. You have. And at the end of the day, you proved your doubters right. That's what it seems like you were doing all along. In my opinion, you got scared. You got scared. You played it too safe. And I understand why. That Batman versus Superman script that you got hounded for, that's not right either. That's not right either. Those people need to go touch grass. Absolutely. That wasn't right what happened to you. Calling your dad like that, that was absolutely not right. But I believe you got scared. And it affected you more than you realize. In every interview I've seen of you, there's no emotion, there's no passion. It's just milquetoast. It's just milquetoast. And if you want to see evidence of losing your passion, look at Shelby Oaks. There's no passion there. I don't know what filmmaker he is. And then I look at what Markiplier did. I look at what Backrooms did. The contrast of what's going on here is very stark. It's very down the line. It's someone technically knowing what a movie how a movie works, but when he sits down in the seat, he doesn't know. And then you go to the other range of these people seem to know how to make a film. Chris doesn't. Chris seems like he's been walking through this for a decade in a stunned state. And I think, Crimson, I think people want him to wake up. I want to be very clear. That's why he's on the list. I don't like him. For that reason, for all those reasons I mentioned. But there is hope. There is hope that one day we will get that man that showed us what he can do from his hilariocity reviews. There is hope one day that person will come out. It's in you, Chris. It's in you. Don't let some bad apples ruin this for you. Don't let some bad apples ruin movie for you and what this life can bring. Because I've seen you at your worst. I've seen you when you walk through things. And it seems like you just don't care anymore. It seems like you don't care. From your movie reviews, from Shelby Oaks, it looks like you don't care and you don't know what you're doing and how to make films on a practical basis. Like I said, there's a difference between technically knowing how a movie works and practically making a good film. And for all those reasons, Chris Stuckmann comes in at number 7. All right, guys. Well, there you go. I'm sure a bunch of you guys are going to have fun on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. Agreeing with me, disagreeing with me, bring it. I want all the smoke. Caveman. So, guys, we will see you on Monday. Until then, I want to thank everybody for watching. Whether you like our stuff, disagree with our stuff. Hey, I don't want you to like this. I don't want you to agree with me all the time. The best, for me, the best conversations come from when you don't agree with me. Why don't you agree with me? And why you agree with me, right? So leave all that stuff down below in the comments section. And I want to thank you all for all your support. Crimson, another awesome week as always, my friend. We will see you all Monday. Until then, take care, be safe, be well, and a club for life. Peace.
From cinema magic to the heart-pounding thrill, we're shaming the worst. Get ready for the chill. These moments in time, defined by the